Good.
Susan Wojcicki.
Good.
Bad.
Him.
Bad.
Him now. You did well.
Susan Wojcicki.
He was too dangerous to be kept alive.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I would have to say that the mask has entirely slipped on Ethan Klein, using unspecific terms to demand YouTube ban Keemstar, while also participating himself in the exact same toxic contribution to the YouTube ecosystem, as he puts it. Now, no matter what I do, no matter what I say in all my videos, people are going to get involved in these type of things anyway. I hope that my viewers know that I don't condone dogpiling on anybody, even if it is someone as slimy as Ethan Klein, or as inconsistent and unreliable and spotty historied as Keemstar. But it is my job to report on these things as long as YouTube will allow it. Now, their feud has been going on for much longer than a month, but it definitely reached a boiling point a month ago when Ethan published a video, then Keemstar published a video, and then both of them just going back and forth. At this point, most of the YouTube community is on Team Forget Them Both, which is basically the team that I've always been on. I have had very negative interactions with Daniel Keem, and my interactions with Ethan Klein have always been negative as well. Both men acting like 14-year-old girls in this feud that basically everyone had forgotten about until, well, Ethan Klein demanded that Keemstar be removed. Now, both men have lost sponsors. Now, a lot of people were mad at Ethan Klein for denoting Keemstar's affiliation with G Fuel, which ultimately led to his G Fuel sponsorship dropping. You can see G Fuel removes YouTuber Keemstar from website after H3H3 video, and you have here the content nuke, which is just a terrible name. I really disliked it, but Ethan did put out a video where he basically cherry picked a lot of things. Some of the things that he put out were legitimate and true, but most of it was unnewsworthy, unnoteworthy. Yeah, everyone knows Keem is slimy, but you know, you get big brain people like Anthony Fantano saying nobody is friends with Keemstar. He's a leech who manipulative behavior fools low self-esteem boys into thinking the kindness he shows them absolves him of his heinous behavior. Yeah, you know the real him. He's banking on you defending him. Don't play the fool. Of course, everything brought up and the way Keemstar has handled sensitive situations on YouTube has not been the best. But, you know, the feud continued nonetheless, even though everyone was basically sick of it. Reports that Old Spice has terminated the sponsorship of H3H3, Ethan Klein, are circulating. Well, we know that now to be true. We basically know that almost everybody has left H3H3. And I, too, know the burn of, sponsors not wanting to be involved in things. And I understand that. This is Old Spice. There's a wide variety of other ones that, not so publicly cut their ties with H3H3. But you know what? He's got millions of dollars in the bank, so he doesn't really care. I don't think either one of these gentlemen will care at all. The problem is most of us, the YouTubers that rely on sponsorships, we're the ones that had to pay the price for their petty feud. They're fine. They both have, they're both multi-millionaires. They're both set. YouTube checks could stop coming in tomorrow. Both people would be totally fine. But that's not their concern. Of course, then Ethan did challenge, Keem challenged Ethan to a boxing match, which would be hilarious. But that's obviously never happened. But here, and then we had Leafy. This is just a brief recap. Then we had Leafy kind of allude to H3H3 Productions, up to some nefarious behind-the-scenes things. Look, I don't think there's ever been a hard piece of evidence that links Ethan Klein to having videos removed. There was a Gocaneros video, which we know got to Ethan. We know it bothered him. Did he angrily type an email to YouTube demanding they take it down? I don't believe that happened. If Ethan wanted to get a video taken down, he's smart enough to know that he doesn't need to have that evidence. All he has to do is send a DM to one of his buddies at YouTube with a simple LOL and a video. And obviously that person on the other end will understand the implications and will likely apply a penalty when needed. Of course, videos generally don't get taken down if they don't even have some borderline violation. I mean, I had a scene from The Walking Dead in one of my videos, a scene that is widely used across the internet, across YouTube, hundreds of clips of the Negan baseball bat scene. I use it in my video, YouTube deletes it. I mean, it's not exactly an efficient system of reporting, but, you know, Leafy did get strikes for going after H3 Productions, and Ethan Klein celebrated Leafy's channel getting deleted, which I understand. Ethan probably saying, well, if they're going to blame me anyway, I might as well do it. Well, just a few days ago, actually yesterday, you have Ethan Klein going after Keemstar again, saying, Keemstar is again reporting on extremely serious allegations. Remember that we as a community are allowing him to continue to ruin people's lives. What is that? What does the implication there mean? And he gets a little more on message here, which I'm going to point out in a second. For example, the pic of Tom in his thumbnail is from him crying that Make-A-Wish child that had passed on. I mean, it's a thumbnail. I don't know that, you know, he looked for a picture of the guy crying. He's in the thumbnail. I'm not going to get... Are we really going to worry about thumbnails, Ethan Klein? Are we going to worry about pictures that people use? You know, is that what we're going to do now? Because, I mean, I could go through your thumbnails too, buddy. And I'm sure that there's plenty of spicy ones. But here, you know, he goes on and on. So he's still trying to get Keemstar deplatformed. It's just so obvious. But here is the interesting one that I've seen. Keemstar is a threat to the YouTube ecosystem. He is circumventing the safeguards by spelling this, you know, a demon word as that. Okay, it's interesting that Ethan Klein used those words, a threat to the YouTube ecosystem, simply because the latest rendition of the new YouTube terms and conditions happens to add this new line, which reads as follows. Creates content that harms the YouTube ecosystem by persistently inciting hostility between creators for personal financial gain. Now, for example, I don't think you have to be full tinfoil hat to understand what's going on here. Ethan Klein is using YouTube's own words in their terms of service here. And what would some people call this? What are those people? Is it a dog whistle? You know, this is him using these particular words on purpose because he knows it's the letter of the law. Now, I would argue that both Ethan Klein and Keemstar are damaging the ecosystem and persistently inciting hostility between creators for personal financial gain. Isn't that exactly what Ethan Klein is doing? Building his channel, putting out video after video after video on Keemstar. I'm not sure if they were or were not monetized, but that doesn't necessarily matter, as it will get more attention on your channel and get more views to the next video that is monetized. That's why my position generally around video monetization is I'm going to monetize everything, period. Because why not? There's really no virtue to be gained. You know, am I going to monetize a video reporting another YouTuber's, you know, tragic end? Probably not. But I'm not going to get my undies in a bundle over what videos are monetized and what ones aren't. He goes on to say, he has proven that he is not responsible to report on any such matter, as his clear bias, inability to do thorough research, and his willingness to lie to create drama makes him an incredibly dangerous force on YouTube. I mean, why not just come right out and say it? I mean, what Ethan Klein is doing here is he's demanding Keemstar be deplatformed or removed from YouTube. He is also using YouTube's own words from the terms and conditions to kind of whistle at YouTube, is what my guess is here. And a lot of people say, I miss when you did funny content. You're not any healthier, bud. I mean, everyone's just turning on him. I'm sure Hila is probably telling Ethan to just drop it already. I mean, I don't think anyone really gives, you know, who really cares at all about Ethan Klein or Keemstar outside of their super mega fans. But, you know, both gentlemen have absolutely had a spotted history of decisions. But Ethan Klein can just say, I'm sorry, and move on. But he's not going to rest until YouTube deplatforms Keemstar, which is pathetic. I think you could make the argument that at minimum, maybe you look at monetization. But again, YouTube, one YouTuber going after another YouTuber's livelihood is just never, it's just never okay. I just don't understand it. Yeah, you can call it one of the kind of the unspoken rules of YouTube, but it is. And Ethan Klein, a multimillionaire, worrying about what other channels are doing rather than, you know, all he's doing is bringing more attention to it. The more he endlessly rants about Keem, the more obsessed he looks and the more attention he gives Keem. But he doesn't care because he's a man on a mission to deplatform someone simply because he doesn't like him. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.